Okay. Alright, cool. Awesome. Nice. We're allowed to do it now. Cool. Cool. Okay, so first off, um, I did a very different spiritual bath today, and holy shit, I feel crazy. Um, Second off, thank you all for being here, for all the support, for everything. It means the world. Um, and especially to the ones that are like sticking around, newcomers that are coming around, everyone, even ones that aren't resonating anymore with this channel. Thank you for being here. Um, I love every one of you all, because I'm part of the journey, and we all grow. It's time for you to get your wings and go wherever you need to. But this Lionsgate's very, very, very particular. We're in a very interesting palindrome month, um, for the entire uh, month. It seems really, um, up until the 10th, up until the 9th. I mean, really, after that, you just start adding up the numbers, um, and it just repeats up until no, it does just keep repeat, doesn't it? Up until the 19th, it repeats. So we have a very interesting, very very interesting palindrome month coming up. Very important. Um, there's a lot of portals, a lot of energetic transfusions. I'm feeling, not transactions, not transmissions, but transfusions. Um, Interesting. Anyway, we're gonna jump into the tarot. Actually, I kind of want to jump into this the maps and stars real quick. So let me do this real quick. I feel like doing this real quick. So we're gonna jump into this. So Sculptor and Pavo came out again, which the constellations, of course. I still haven't done all of these yet. I'm still learning. But Pisces is here. Y'all know Pisces being water. Um, Sorry, I'm getting a lot already. Um, but anyway, Sculptor and Palvo just I'm hearing taking the kinks out, like really, again, like finding your beauty, finding where you stand, and then moving forward. It's really time to flesh yourself out, and not be afraid of it. A lot of Pisces energy and Leo minor. So this is all about like allowing your emotions to take control, letting your feminine. I mean, it's right. It's in the cards. I don't know how to explain it. I've been telling you guys this forever. The energy is very much allowing your feminine energy to take control. You've done a lot in your masculine. You've taken a lot of charge and a lot of things. And instead of allowing your feminine energy to be the one that rests, now let it be the one that nurtures you, the one that drives you. Let your how is it said? How is it said? Because I have it written down because I knew I wasn't going to get this. Allow your thoughts to serve your feelings, not your feelings serve your thought. Not serve your thoughts. When thoughts serve your feelings, it's desirable because that means your masculine side, your actions are doing what your emotional wants rather than your emotions doing what your thoughts want. Your emotions are your energy. Emotions are energy and motions. Feelings, when you feel, it's energy that you feel. It's energy that you catch on to. It's your currency, if you will, which you spend your energy on, which you spend your feelings on, and how you use your feelings um, defines a lot of who you are, what you do, and um, what's given back to you truly and honestly. Um, so be very mindful of that going into this portal. And it's like stormy. So, I mean, more rain. We love to see that. That's so weird. Is it just one big cloud? It's just one huge cloud, and then there's like no. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't looked at the clouds until now, but it's something about the clouds releasing emotion. um, there it could be something about this retrograde coming up, Mercury retrograde energy kicking through as well. That might be very significant for you all. So, um, because it's just like there's so much coming back, and I feel like there are things coming back in your life that you're noticing them come back, but you're not really caring. Leo minor is kind of given the energy of you're back in this like child energy, like you're becoming adolescent again. Oh my god, can I speak? And an adolescent um is someone isn't like a child, isn't like a baby, but adolescence is someone who's going into knowledge. They don't know, so they start to step into the knowing and less of the belief, which is I feel like what we're learning to start to learn is though we are children of the divine, we're adolescents as well. We are born as a child, but we when we are on earth, we are adolescents. We learn, we grow, we evolve. So is there any signs we need to be aware of? Orion. Orion and Cephas. So a bunch of like masculine energy really that's so interesting because we have yeah. Hmm. But it's about the king. So the king and Orion really facing your battles wisely. Um being able to defend yourself but not in like a externally violent way almost like really standing your ground with Scorpio energy growing evolving. So think about Scorpio season has been very significant. Scorpios are also the phoenix. Their original sign of Scorpio is the phoenix. So about something between October 23rd and November 21st, either from last year or this year, something that was supposed to end for you last Scorpio season, um, that actually brought upon something new because death is not about dying and being sent to oblivion, which is what death is, um, or death is like hurt or called or like defined as. We're growing from that. And it could be you going back because it is the Queen of Diamonds, so it's coming feminine nature really heavily, and allowing your feminine nature just take lead. I don't know why, like the spirit really. These readings are definitely getting a lot more different. I'm glad that a lot of us are on this page and seeing things from a higher view because these same cards when it come out. As I split the deck and Camellia Paradiddles still came out the giraffe. So seeing things from a higher view but staying grounded as well. It's just a lot of instead of external work because you've tried that and externally things might have gotten a little better. Now it's time for the internal look. Um, it's very interesting, but yeah, but the sun coming up upright. Um, this is wonderful energy to start off with. There's an awakening. Um, a really big awakening. It's like it's a reset almost. Something that was supposed to happen for you all last retrograde that was canceled out due to the choices that were made in the cycle that you went through. This is your rebirth. This is your second chance at doing so. What I'm getting, especially the sunflowers in the sun, you're looking in the right direction. You're making the correct sacrifices. You know, you're on the right path. Like you're very enlightened. You're moving forward with like a more innocent masculine energy, so it doesn't have much to defend itself other than itself. It's like you're starting to I don't know. I want to okay, I feel I really do feel like saying this. It's like you've took your masculine energy and turned it into a child. You're really turning this masculine monster, this beast inside of you, into a child. Something that's innocent, doesn't know any better, something that's scared and just wishes to defend. You're kind of teaching yourself to stay away from that fearful energy, from these thoughts that are generated from your inner child, because your inner child is there to help you really see what you've gone through. Your inner child is helping you from past experiences, while your body is moving through those experiences later on. That's the whole seeing cycles thing. And thank you, Mark, for the gifted. Um, but this is the whole cycle, seeing yourself um, almost grow up again. You know what I mean? You've had a lot of shit thrown at you. You've done a lot. People have done a lot to you. You're coming to terms with these energies, which I don't know why that's a weird projection. Some people might feel like thinking badly about these things is going to give you bad karma. No, being honest with yourself purifies yourself. I don't know who needs to hear that, but truly being honest with yourself. Being like, yeah, I fucked up, I was mean, I did this, I punched Jonathan in the face, things of that nature. Doing that purifies you. It does not give you karma. Holding back from admitting the truth is what gives you that karma. Because internally, you can't lie to the divine internally. The mother inside of you knows best. Father Time, your mental, is just waiting for you to admit it. And the second you admit it, you're able to nurture yourself and make yourself whole again. And that's, I feel like that's either what's happening or going to happen, or something that you're just working on right now. Either way, it's beautiful because it's this enlightenment energy of really being able to see yourself as a child. The ego is being stripped of its barriers of feeling big and bad, of needing to stand on a pedestal that it's made itself, a very man-made pedestal. Um, you're learning that the gratification of the work that you've done internally doesn't have to be paraded around, because that's what your masculine energy, that's what a healthy masculine energy knows, is that how much work it's put into itself. And it's not because it decided to, but because it allowed, with free will, it has to be said as allowed, because your masculine brain has, the masculine side of you has free will. That's where your free will comes from. The feminine side has no free will, but it allowed itself. um, it's funny how the masculine side of the brain works for a minute, but it's in the space of allowing the feminine to nurture it, which is giving it that badge of honor, that whole like it. But it's like it's a facade, yes, but it's not a harmful facade, because you are aware, especially with the son and the child being on the horse. It's a naked child. It represents complete innocence. Um, it proves that even though your masculine energy wants to feel that way and think that way, you know internally that you are resetting that. So it's just a work in progress. This is beautiful that I'm seeing. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no need to speed things up or slow things down. You are moving at a correct pace for you. And the seeds that you're planting inside of yourself and allowing to be planted inside of yourself, and the knowledge that you're working on, and the tips, process internally that you're doing is working. So keep doing what you're doing. It might feel rough or slow or like stagnant, and that's because you're not used to allowing your feminine side to come through. So you're getting used to actually sitting still and finding the difference between what a thought and a feeling is. And a feeling will always come before a thought. A feeling will create a thought, and then from there on, the thought has free will to go wherever it wants. You don't have as much control over your masculine side of the brain as you'd like to think, because it's its own thing, and so is the feminine. That's why you can't tell the feminine to do something, because it has no free will. and it knows what's best. So it's waiting on the masculine to come to it. The masculine has to come to the feminine to be refurbished. The feminine cannot go to the masculine and refurbish. You know what I mean? Um, and that's something that you're working on doing, is getting the masculine to cooperate, because the feminine side of you always wants to cooperate. It's simply just waiting. Always. That's what we mean when we say the divine is always waiting on you. The feminine side of you internally is waiting on the masculine side of you, the thoughts, to pay attention to it, because it's always there. It's always talking and always trying to help you, but you don't. I don't know why this is all okay, but the way it's being put onto me is, it's, I hate talk. It's not funny how the situation I'm gonna describe is not funny, but the way it's got put onto me was kind of funny. But it's like, feel, it's the masculine side thinking the feminine side is like a nagging wife that won't shut up, and that side, that bridge of connection towards the masculine and feminine is breaking, disintegrating, if you will, which is good. So the masculine's not thinking the knife's nagging anymore. It's more of the masculine kind of putting himself in timeout and thinking, damn, maybe I should, maybe there is a second half of me that I need to listen to. Um, and it's kind of just sitting out and waiting on something to happen, which is why this energy of impatience, this energy of not knowing what to do next, and like confusion is awry, because that masculine side is docile or becoming docile. Um, and again, that's beautiful, because this world, I was even told this today about the masculine and feminine, so we'll dive into it because it popped up. Um, the masculine and feminine internally have this pimp and whore relationship, which is why we have pimps and whores in reality, because the masculine uses the feminine for external gratification, for monetization, for those types of things. Um, and that's what you're working on. Your masculine internal, your thoughts are no longer pimping your emotions. They're no longer taking advantage of your emotions, and then causing a negative side effect for you to deal with later, which again is beautiful. It's a work in progress. No one said this is going to be easy, but people have to do it if you're ready to really push forward and um, be the ones to start this cycle. And it's going to take a minute, but it's the fact that you're able to work on yourself, and you don't have a fake sense of, oh, I'm doing good. You have like an actual, I know that I'm working on myself, because you're stopping, you're pausing, you're getting more into a forethought process. You're getting into questioning if your thoughts are feelings or not. You're observing more, being more observant, not of externally, but internally. Which it also improves health. Trust me, it improves mental health, it improves physical health. It just, because things that you really want to do have been stopped by your thoughts. Yeah, and then we have the Eight of Swords. You're seeing how trapped you are with the Sun to the Eight of Swords. It's really, you're shining a light on your feminine emotion, and this is what your masculine, and your masculine. I'm gonna say your masculine. I'm always gonna be talking about your masculine side of the head. I'll try and remind you all, but when I'm in the flow, if I say masculine, it's about your masculine side. If I say feminine, it's about your feminine side. Try to remember that, please. Um, but this light has been shined on your feminine side, and the masculine is looking at you, and it's like, looking at the feminine, and it's like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to you? And it's like, well, I told you I was here the whole time, and you didn't want to listen to me. So what you did, without realizing that it was logical, was to bind me up, and make me feel bad, or try to make me feel bad by covering me up with all these thoughts, all these daggers and swords, um, to cause a drought, to how you feel. With the lack of water, that's a drought. That's a lack of emotion. You're stopping yourself from feeling, and you're realizing that. Um, and it hurt. It's not like, I want to say it hurts, and some of you might be going through like a little bit of like regression pain, because it's like, I have been kind of an asshole. Doesn't mean I've done it to anyone out externally, but internally I've kind of been ignoring who I am and what I wish to really do, what I feel like doing, rather than what is expected of me. And what's expected of you is what you can define, and no one else. If someone else expects you to do something and you don't do it, that's not your fault. That's their fault for putting you up on such of a high pedestal to think that you would drop everything for them, theoretically putting them on a higher pedestal than you. Where they have this facade of looking up to you when actually they're looking down on you, waiting for you to come to them. Um, and it's like, externally, internally, take it both ways. Um, I don't know what the hell that was, but confirmation. There's been a lot of police cars. There's been a lot of ambulances and fire trucks going around. I don't know why, um, but it's just there is a lot of cleanup and help. It's like you put yourself in a judging chair. You said, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and judge myself, and that's good. Judge yourself, because you are the one person that can be honest with yourself. That need to be honest with yourself for change, because other people will tell you the truth and it will hurt your feelings. And if you tell yourself the truth or accept the truth from other people, it becomes more obvious of who you are and what's really going on. Um, the things that we don't like focusing on. Um, and not making an excuse for why we can't change it by blaming it on like a sign or something, but understanding that, hey, I am doing this and this could be something I could work on instead of like being so stagnant. Which again, that's your free will to do as you please, but I'm picking up on people who are really shining this light on themselves, which is beautiful. Included, I really heavily feel this. Um, but you're kind of seeing that these blocked emotions have stopped. There's too much sun. The water is drying up. Like it's even here. There's way too much sun. You're not having enough emotions, enough nurturing, enough of your motherly energy. You don't have enough time with mother. You've been spending all your time, and I say you don't have enough time with mother. Time as father. You've been spending so much time. You've been spending so much of your energy with father that it's stressing you out because father can't give you that nurturing. Father can only give you that which you are able to see, which is time. We're in the dimension of time. We look at the with the time, we think things are going slow. We look at the sun and we see the sun's going down, and that stresses us out because where's the day gone, and where's father at? We look to the moon and we don't like to do so, or if we do look to the moon, it's not in the way that our ancestors used to. And it's a feeling that you have of knowing that the moon shows you more than the sun. The sun shows you everything that you're not absorbing. The moon shows you everything that you are. Um, and that again, that is internally and externally. When you see a rainbow, like when you see a blade of grass outside and the grass is green, you are absorbing every color except for green, because green is the only color that's not there. You know what I mean? So you're observing things that aren't there until it's made obvious, and that's what time is there to do, is to put and show you these things. The moon is there to show you everything that you already are. um so and it's like, really make sure you're understanding this and like digging into it, because it's there, it's in front of you, it's real life, but we live it. That's the issue. It's so in our face, it's day to day. It's like you don't focus on it as much because it's there and it's like irritates you, but it's not there to irritate you. It's there to show you the path that you're taking, and allow you and give you the ideas. That's where the ideas come from, is from seeing. um, and the idea comes, and then the emotions follow, then the thoughts are followed, and then your outward experience is created. So here's a good example. So you see this Q-tip, right? And maybe you just have a really strong hatred for Q-tips, or like Q-tips, you taste the cotton or something in your mouth when you see it. You know what I mean? The idea of this Q-tip triggers that feeling. That feeling creates the thought, and that thought creates what's on the physical. The physical relates to the five senses. That's why the sixth sense, the third eye, the mother, is spiritual. Thank you for the confirmation with the lightning, by the way. Um, but that's what I'm talking about. When I talk about things being like internally and externally. That's what I mean. The thought. Okay, thank you. That's what I'm meaning though. I don't know if you can hear the thunder. But that's what I mean by that. The ten of wow, okay. The ten of pentacles, the six of swords, the nine of pentacles, the lovers, and the hermit. Okay. So we're gonna begin off with these two. The ten of pentacles, the six of swords. Um yeah. So so the ten of pentacles. When I'm looking at this, I'm seeing so the dogs in tarot, they represent the masculine conscious energy. And as you see, the man, the king in this, the elder, the wise one, surrounded by all the fruit, is holding the dog, not holding the dog down, but petting the dog, getting to a point to where your masculine can self-soothe itself from the past experiences from the feminine. And then you have the actual woman, the feminine, holding the pinnacle, holding the keys, holding the um, the physical outwardness. Oh, she's not really holding it, but the pinnacle's in her hand. It looks like she's holding it. Your inner child's also helping the dog. It's also petting the dog. The child represents your youth. Um, and it's like you're seeing things from both areas, and you're allowing your feminine to converse with yourself, which is you right here, who the feminine is talking to in the card. You're talking to yourself, and allowing your feminine side to communicate with you first based off of what your past experience needs you to know. The Ten of Pentacles is the family card, and the family starts within you. Um, Always, because you take your family wherever you are. You are the mother, you are the father, you are the son, um, you are everything. And it's you're really learning how to self-soothe yourself, and it's because you've gone through all these treacherous waters. You've really struggled. It's like you're really because the water's one side and smooth on the other. You've really taking a rough path, but it leads to less resistance, and this resistance is allowing the feminine in your child to stop being ignored, because they're facing all those swords. They're facing the thoughts that you're facing. They're looking at um, everything while the masculine does the work. And the masculine's holding the wand, and the masculine's making up all these ideas. Instead of allowing your emotions to be free and frivolent and expressive, they're showing them, hey, if you do this, you're gonna be punished for that. If you start feeling this way, you'll feel bad about it because someone like yada yada this, yada yada that bullshit that your masculine wants to do to subside and subdue your emotions and your true being. Um, and this is something that you're able to either going to do past or present, future, however, but it is leading to a lot of beauty, as well as the Sun and the Eight of Swords. I want to go back and talk about those a little bit too, because I'm feeling it heavily. You shining this light on yourself is going to put you in this Six of Swords. This realization of seeing your masculine side take over your feminine side and almost bully it, and it's really gonna put you in a awkward position to where you need to understand that you can put all the physicality behind you with the Nine of Pentacles. You can stop focusing on um, all of the um, on all the on the physical, on the thoughts, on the pinnacles. I couldn't think there for a second. Excuse me. And the feminine in this card is all by herself, which shows an imbalance. It shows that there's an attention to the feminine, because look at all the gold that's around the feminine. So you have the masculine here who's ignoring both, just a bunch of swords and thoughts and rough waters, rough emotions, a bunch of negative thoughts, and then here's the feminine sitting there around all the fruits of the labors, the fruits of the thoughts, all these ideas, all of this actual energy, the funding, your emotions, your feelings are the funding, the money that you use to spend on things, on activities. That's how you spend your time, is with your emotions. You know what I mean? And it's like you're doing that. There's a snail in your, it's like slowing down and really tapping into the feminine aspect of yourself to see where the actual gold lies, and not thinking that it's a masculine thing. To the lovers, even the perfect harmony, coming into the tranquil union, the divine union with yourself. uh oh god, what was it? Me, myself, and I. Yeah, thank you. Me, myself, and I. You are the winged person, not an angel. Figure that out. This is not an angel. This is a winged human. This is you. Your eyes are closed because you don't need to see with the physical eyes. You can see with the third eye. You can see with your emotions, because that's where it's connected. It's subconscious. Um, and you have wings. You have a higher experience, a higher knowledge. You know. You don't need to see anything. You just need to experience. The fire, and unlike the devil card, I might have to pull it out and show you all. I might, but on the lovers card, the tree that the man stands behind, that's that wand. I mean, not the wand, but the bush, the shrub has fire. It's being talked to from the divine. You're allowing the divine to talk to the shrub. Dang it. Why can I not? It's Moses. It's Moses. Yeah, thank you. It's Moses. Thank you, Spirit. I was about to have like a breakdown there. But notice there's also a triangle in the middle. That's the triangle, the 3 points, and you can even see the hill where it begins on one, big, starts here, whatever, it starts there, but whatever, the point in the middle is all there. It's the triangle is there. The perfect harmony is there. Um, but it's Moses getting instructions from the divine, from God, of what to do, and allowing the wisdom that your feminine has with the snake, and getting in flow, with the universe, and being fruitful, allowing your feminine to talk to your masculine, um, and being on top of your emotions, being able to see everything. You're literally on top of yourself. Understanding who you are puts you in this energy to where you no longer are bound by free will, which gives you the choice to ignore. You are then not forced, but you accept and allow, um, the emotions to not override you, to not drown you, but to use them as a comforting ground to float above the obstacles that you go through. And that's the enlightening point that I'm really seeing for a lot of you all in this, especially. But with the hermit, you're needing to really take that trip, on top of the mountains, cold mountains, the lantern. Your eyes are closed and you're looking down with the wand in your hand. You're really needing to think about what spawns from your actions, shining a light in the dark. The dark side is the feminine side, as it's ignored a lot. Shining, you need to be brave enough to look at your emotions. They're going to tell you the full truth of who you are and how you really feel about yourself, which is not always pretty as we want it to seem. But that's something that needs to be done, and you're either doing it, or you're on the journey to, or you've been thinking about it, especially with the wand in his hand. You're really thinking about doing this. It's an idea that the feminine's planted on you. It's just you need to understand and really get in the groove of that you're able to nurture yourself through any obstacle that you put yourself through at this time and for eternity, honestly, because that's your ability that you have. That's your gift from mother, is always having the nurturing ability to love yourself, to calm yourself, to have these emotions and ideas, and expressiveness to take you further in life. And Father's gift is to give you all the time in the world. Father time, of course, again, in that it's no rush. Take your time. Take your father, so that you're able to show your mother what's going on. To get to mother, you have to first get through father. To get through to your feminine, you have to get through your masculine. That's how it's done. In the Bible, Jesus says you have to, to get through to me, you must get through Father. And who was Jesus? The Son of Christ, the child of God. You are a child of God. You are Jesus in that form, in that sense. Understand, okay? Jesus was a child of the divine, tempted by everything, had the same temptations as us, for he was us. We have these same abilities of transmutation, of healing, of understanding, of knowledge, of being able to own our own empire, despite however you wanted that to look like or be. That is our gift. To get to Jesus, to get to yourself, your third eye, you must get to Father. And to get to Mother, you have to get through Father. You have to get to through Father. So understand that. Though you've gotten to Father, now it's time to get to Mother. And that's the difficult part. I'm not even going to do quotation marks around that one. That's the difficult part. Because once you understand your thoughts, you have to understand that your thoughts are generated from something, not from nothing. They're not generated because that's like how you are. They're generated from how you feel. And where does that feeling come from? Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, it does matter because it comes from your feminine side. The side that you keep ignoring, the side that keeps getting your attention and trying to talk to you that you're not necessarily paying attention to, but acknowledge. And now it's time to know your feminine side. You might have had, like, again, it's going back to the age of Pisces and then going to the age of Aquarius. You believe that you were able to have these emotions. You believe that you were able to step into this feminine energy. And now with the Aquarius, you need to know that it exists. You need to understand you're not just one constantly running brain. You are two individuals at the same time. You're having a dual conversation with yourself. If you took your soul, I said it once, but I'll say it again. If you take your soul out of your body, you have two, it would have two, but it would be two heads, one body. That's literally how your soul works. And they talk at the same time. They communicate with each other. If one side doesn't agree with the other, it will talk over it. That's just how it is. That's how we operate. Giving yourself the grace to really know the truth and to set yourself free, because the chains that you wrap around yourself are truly wrapped around your emotions, because your mental is obviously free enough to do whatever it wants and drive you in the holes or to lift you up. um, so releasing your feminine from the Eight of Swords, from the chains that you've wrapped it in, unknowingly, because you're, again, the masculine has free will, and with the masculine side, it can make you feel like you've done nothing wrong because it has the will to do so, and free will is not always for the best of you. And even looking into your past thoughts and how you used to ration things out and whatnot, you'll even realize that that wasn't even fair to yourself, because why would you do that? That's not who you are. You know what I mean? So just pay attention to that really heavily. Um, and again, if you're on this journey, you're most likely within the Six of Swords right now, really trying to figure yourself out. But I'm telling you, it's going to end so well. With the Ten of Cups to the Six of Cups, you're going to have this beautiful alignment. You're going to have this amazing alignment. Everyone is in unison. There's both. There's man, woman, man, woman. Doesn't matter. Like the adolescents and the children. Both hands are up. Both hands are wrapped around. Both children are dancing. They're standing equally. They're not one in front of the other. They are both gleefully, happily together. But what first has to happen is your masculine, the one in the red, the oh my god, what, I forgot the actual name of the hood. It's called something. It's like the hood of shame, I believe is what it's called. Holding the hood of shame, going back to your feminine and offering it the flower, purity flower. And that's Gebo down there with the X. That's the unit. That's the rune for partnership, for togetherness. And on top of that is the gift of the union. The cup on top of that is the feminine's cup. And your masculine has to just come back to the feminine, admit its faults, be honest, be complete, just be like, hey, I'm sorry. That's the whole hermit, the dark night of the soul, if you will, and just be honest, so that you're able to get this perfect union, because this is what's coming up heavily. This is what you're doing. It's coming up. I feel it definitely, for sure. Um, and it's just, you're gonna really see what the divine really is supposed to be like. And even if it's like you do it and then you get scared and fall back into the old cycle again and get, just a little bit scared, that's perfectly fine. But the divine just needs you to know, mother and father need you to know that it's possible, and that if you just trust them, everything will be fine. And this is either going to be a big instant awakening, or it's going to be something that you do once, then back up, then go again. But regardless, Father Time needs you to know you have all the time in the world, but don't beat yourself up over it, or he will give you a reason to. Memory comes from time. And if you beat yourself up over the past, not doing the things in the past, well, then Father Time's going to give you a reason to beat yourself up over it by then using your emotions against you, because that's what the masculine side of the brain has been built, brainwashed to do, manipulated to do. Um, but you have the will of yourself to unwire these things, to come back into the full identity that you're supposed to be in. Um, and I just really love this energy, a lot actually, um, because it's very beautiful. It's very passionate. It's the union of really coming back to yourself and just being honest. Not no, we had because like I'm picking up right now as well, like because even I did it too. Like the feminine, using the feminine to like nurture yourself and not really be honest. You were kind of using your feminine side, and I was too, because at the time it was needed, of course. That's it's part of the growing process. It's the path to the destiny. It was a fated thing to happen because we weren't on the level to accept it. So we splurged some money that we had, or we just took lazy days off or whatever, and we delved into ourselves and just like, oh, I've gone through so many bad things, so I have the perfect reason and excuse to do X, Y, Z. Now you're kind of looking back on that. This retrograde's an retrograde, and you're looking at it and seeing, oh, I was kind of just using my feminine emotions again in the wrong sense of not really admitting that I was wrong, but making myself feel better by using it to manifest things in the physical to help me cover you up even more in like prettier chains. Like instead of it being like a silver rope, there's like, oh, I got you like a golden diamond encrusted rope to bind yourself in. Now, like, no, now you're done doing that, because now you're looking at it and it's like, oh, I kind of just locked you in the closet somewhere, and I need you more than I thought I did. Um, because that's what the masculine energy does. Is it likes to think that it can rule the world, but a king needs his queen. Um, for the queen doesn't need the king at all. The queen will always have the power, um, as we all know. But the king needs the queen more than the queen needs the king. And the queen knows this. This is why she does not act out, be rash. The queen understands that without the queen, the king will fall down shortly. It's the story of Humpty Dumpty. All the king's horses and all the king's men, all the kings and the knights of the tarot deck could not put Humpty Dumpty, aka the fool, back together again, because it needs the feminine side to be able to nurture and take care of the wounds rather than just slapping shit together and hoping that it sticks. Um, so that's what we're learning. That's what we're going through. As talking about the knights, yeah, with the Knight of Wands, that's what's coming through. Your masculine energy's getting the idea. And it's like, and again, the energy of haste and the Ace of Pentacles too. Yeah, okay. Thank you for being on the bottom. But that's the gift. This is the gift that the feminine's giving the masculine. If you notice something heavily, and it's gonna get really funny when I say this, it might even spark a new thing in you. The only reason the masculine's getting these ideas is because the feminine energy's giving the masculine these ideas. The masculine cannot think for himself in the way that emotions exist. So your masculine energy, unbeknownst to it, probably at this time, is getting these ideas, these gifts, these physical manifestations from the feminine, right? Not understanding that it is, oh, I should go back to the feminine. I should go back to the feminine and help from her. not understanding that the feminine is sitting there literally waiting for him to come back, not to belittle him, not to curse him and to damn him to hell, but to say it's time to get to back together and to accept his offering of peace to come together, the Six of Cups, and to work in unison with the lovers. Um, but by doing that, you will see how much you've buried of yourself. Because I don't want to say how bad you treated yourself, because that's not the point of this. But you really are gonna see how much you've buried your feminine emotion, your feminine side or your emotions under to protect yourself from thinking that you would be hurt instead of allowing yourself to truly. And that's really what I'm picking up, and it's very beautiful because we're creating leaders. We're not creating followers, and I don't want to create a follower. I want to create other leaders. That's really the purpose of life, is to not enslave yourself to someone else, but to get the information that you need to be a leader of your own. And I see that really happening right now, especially with this Leo season. It's just very, very beautiful. And it's like it's a plan that I feel the divine has planted on a lot of people. Well, everyone gets the call, but not many people accept it. And the ones that do accept it, only a few from the ones that accept it truly go through with it. And that's what it's meant by many are called, but few are chosen. The chosen ones choose to continue to go down the path, but everyone still gets the call. Um, and I'm picking up on the ones that have picked up the call and are brave enough to continue down the path that the call that they've been given. Um, the ones that really want to see a change happen, because everyone knows a change needs to happen, but not many people are brave enough for to make that change to happen. Um, but the divine is really putting out that they see you, and um, they are really, their mother and father are going to do everything in their power, that you allow them to do, of course, because that's the thing. They can't force you to do anything. You have to accept it. Literally, if they wanted to, they could have put us down here, programmed us to not hurt anyone, to do all these things. But that's something that we need to learn how to do ourselves. Um, through reincarnation, through different lifetimes, we really do learn how to do that. The obstacle is to get over the past pain and regression and feeling like that's a punishment, and accepting it as the beauty of life, of being able to see that um, that pain isn't from anyone external, but from everything internal. Um, but again, I'm picking up on ones that are really going to lead this path, and it's going to work out for you heavily if you just continue down the path. Like, really, it is. Um, there's a lot of just positive energy coming from this. I'm honestly kind of baffled at it, but it takes a lot of faith and trust in this time in the feminine side of you that really hasn't been paid attention to. But I'm telling you, taking a leap. The full hasn't came out, so I don't really know what's going to happen with the leap. But taking this leap is really going to show you. Yeah, because you've locked yourself out. What the fuck? Why are y'all popping out like this? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? Okay, hold on. Nothing bad. This is a lot of a lot of energy. Yeah, because you've almost, the fact that you've been kind of confused and left out in this physical poverty. You haven't noticed. We're not the seeing a lack of the external has been because of a lack of importance on the internal that you're having, which has caused you to really hold on to everything too tightly. Um, and this cycle is ending, especially with the Three of Pentacles. Um, because it's you're almost being told like what to do. You're looking up at this energy of needing to cooperate with yourself. It's like doing the inner work, because they're working inside of a chapel. They're working on the inside of you, and it's a need for you yourself here to look at your masculine and feminine down there, and notice how the feminine has the plan, has the chart in her hand how to make the chapel grow, but is wearing humiliation hood because the masculine wants to say, oh, you didn't do this right, XYZ. You need to show both sides of you what's really going on. And by both sides, it's mainly the masculine that need to be aware of the feminine, because the feminine's already aware of the masculine. Um, but yeah, the King of Cups, the cup is in the left hand, the wand, the torch is in the right. Um, and it's this energy of being able to really face the emotions that are coming from these thoughts. Um, because the world is waiting for you. With the Two of Wands, the world is waiting on you. Um, and you're starting to really see, like, even like just the path you're on as well. I'm getting the path that you're on with the Five and the Four of Cups as well. Like, you might have took like a Three of Cups path. You took a third way of doing something with the Five of Cups. The Three of Cups is there, and then you have the Two of Cups behind. The Two of Cups is literally the Two of Cups card. It is the two cups that your masculine and feminine have, and the Three of Cups is the celebration card. I feel good, so let me go celebrate and splurge real quick, and then you doing that kind of puts you in this regret energy because you were told to do something else and you didn't. Which is making you look back at the offer that your feminine energy, the Ace of Cups right there with the Three of Cups. Funny how tarot works, but with the Ace of Cups that's being handed to you, you're seeing what was the better idea. And instead of beating yourself up over it, you're taking emotional responsibility with the King of Cups and seeing where you made a mistake down your path and being like, you know what? That's okay. I'll do better next time. Um, and that's all you can really do. You cannot go back in time and fix it, but what you can do is learn from the lessons. You can remember them. You can allow your feelings to speak up more, and realize where your feelings came from by taking a retrospective outlook or output on it, by really looking in the past and seeing where you messed up from, and not the fact that you messed up, but when did I stop listening to my emotions? When did I decide to take a third path that wasn't destined for me? When did I like panic? When did these other irrational thoughts come through? Um, the Page of Cups as well, and like again, listening to, yeah, it's all. I literally just said this too. It's all right here. Jesus Christ. Well, thank you, Spirit. But it's really talking about where, like, paying attention to where you left off at. Can we get 3 more cards to end this off, Spirit? Just 3. What are the 3 best in here that we could end this off with for advice? I said one of the best 3, and the 3 of Wands comes out. That's hilarious. Okay. That's hilarious. Thank you. The 3 of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the High Priestess. You know what to do. I've already explained it. That's what I'm getting from this. But the 3 of Wands, being stable in this next choice, seeing the difference between your thoughts, looking at the ideas that you have in front of you, what's being seen, and the Knight of Cups, taking that first leap, to make an offer to the feminine side of you, to make an offer to look at your feminine emotions, to take the chance to really delve into yourself and who you are, and with the High Priest at the end, so that you can come into complete balance within yourself, the masculine, the feminine, the self, with the third eye there, the flowers, the moon. It's all about nurturing your emotions. I forgot what Torah is, like the rules, I believe, or the contract. I forgot what it meant. I believe it's the contract. Let me look that back up again. Divine law. Excuse me. The divine law. Thank you. Because the feminine has the divine law. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got that. Nice. But it's the divine law of balancing out the two, of knowing that you can't have one without the other. Um, and it's really coming into purifying that and following through with the contract that the feminine energy is giving you, to follow your destiny and not to stray away because of the flashy, or because of a thought that stirs up, that would steer you off of your destined path and bring you towards faith. And thank you for the donation. It means the world. Um, but that's what I got for you with this. I'll use a little bit of these. We'll see if anything else wants to come out. Um, Also, this tarot is very interesting. I am like a really big fan of it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's the Gust of Dore tarot. It's literally just like um the one that illustrated the biblical stories. It's their art, and it's a beautiful deck, honestly. Um, Very interesting energy on it. It's very just, I don't know, I like it. But we're gonna see if anything wants to come out of here, and if not, then whatever. The Chariot. Yeah, you're about to be given the reins. Or for some of you, no, this is never mind. Thank you for that. This is you. Um, you have been given the torch. You know what to do. It is just a matter of allowing yourself to do so. In the Chariot, there's no reins, there's no control when you're on the Chariot. And thank you for the donation as well. It means the world. But there's no reins on the Chariot card. They're docile. Well, not on this one. Actual Chariot card. There's no reins on the Sphinxes. They're laying there docile because they fly. They don't need to walk. They soar. And the divine's really telling you that now that you know how to fly, now that you know the instructions on how to fly, if you want to think of it like that, it's time to put it into action, because you know for a fact that the divine has you. You know that if it's your destiny, you will not fail. And you know that your feminine emotions are trying to talk to you. So if you want to add steps or know the idea is to look at yourself and see where your emotions lead and follow your heart from there, because I'm talking to the ones that are really about to not only prove to themselves but prove to the world what's going on. The first shockwave, really. um, and people do it every day, but it's something about like when you do it, there's something about you doing it. And it's not saying you're more important than anyone, but the divine's specifically waiting on you to do this, because people are watching you, and people aren't really watching or looking at anyone else, but they're seeing you, and they want to have the same faith as you. They want to see your faith in action. The Hanged Man and the Four of Swords. Exactly. And with the Hanged Man, you're enlightened. You know what to do. You just need to be in some self-reflection. And with the Four of Swords, yeah, taking a rest from the battle. Stop fighting yourself. There's no need to fight internally anymore. Just listen to what you know is best for you, always. The Tower and the Queen of Swords as well. Um, you've already went through the disaster fest. You already know what not to do, um, based on the past situations you've been on or been in. So when this retrograde comes around, you know exactly what to do to not fuck up. I don't mean to say it like that. My apologies. Goodness gracious. But I don't know why it came out like that. Goodness. I can't shake that off. I'm sorry. I mean, the Queen of Swords did pop up, so that makes a little bit of sense. Goodness gracious. That was a warning. No, but now you'll know what to do not to mess up. Maybe this could be talking to certain people less, spending more attention on what's important, spending more time really healing yourself, and not uh, fighting your emotions or fighting thoughts, just allowing them to exist, but following your heart and following the Divine Mother. Um, but that's what I'm getting for y'all. This is beautiful because you're on the path. You know what you're doing. It's just a matter of trust, of faith, of really, really seeing what the divine has for you and moving forward with that energy without too much resistance, without too much fear, remembering that you're always the magician, remembering that it's up to you to take the leap. You've already been kicked out of the nest by mother and father. It's time for you to fly and get your wings. um, you've been focused on how to get around flying, like you've tried making inventions to get around flying, or you've tried asking other people to like throw you across the field to get you to fly, and now it's time for you to fly on your own, to see where your own wings are going to take you rather than where someone wants to put you in or throw you at. um, but yeah, that is the reading. Thank you so much. um, um, but yeah, that's the reading. I got it. My brain like doing its thing. I don't. I genuinely like my brain shuts off half the time when I'm doing a reading. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's not even really a thought process. It's genuinely like from the heart speaking. Um, but regardless, thank you all so much. If you're wanting a reading or anything, that's in the description. I'm gonna have some readings popped out today. I'm gonna have some readings popped out tomorrow. Um, I'm still getting used to the schedule of like with the teacher and then waking and then doing everything, but we're getting everything settled out. So expect the readings to start flowing through for y'all who have booked them in. I'm getting those pulled out. I have not forgot about them. I'm just doing my thing, and getting into my own cycles and stuff. But regardless, I love you all to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. And I